Knowing that he can't save Hinata by staying a slave, Takemichi challenges Masataka, who agrees to fight him. The first hit from Masataka makes Takemichi realize they have vast differences in power, but he refuses to give up. Seeing Takemichi being beaten, Atsushi approaches the ring and takes out a knife, intending to stab Masataka. However, he then realizes the crowd had stopped supporting Masataka. Takemichi is being beaten badly, but he refuses to give up and mumbles about how weak and apologetic he was during those past 12 years. Atsushi puts away the knife and tells Takemichi to give up as he had shown them how tough he is, but Takemichi refuses, stating that he has a reason and can't give up. Takemichi tells Masataka that if he wants to win, they'll have to kill him as he isn't giving up. Masataka asks for his bat, which surprises the crowd as they expected this to be a fistfight. Ken Ryuguchi, the vice commander of Tokyo Manji Gang, appears and tells Masataka to calm down as he is scaring the crowd. Behind him, Manjuro Sano tells him that he is out of dorayaki. While Takemichi's friends wonder who he is, everyone else bows down and greets Manjuro, the commander of Tokyo Manji Gang. Manjuro walks towards the ring. One of the delinquents introduces himself, but Manjuro ignores him, and Ken states that Manjuro doesn't talk to people he's not interested in. Masataka greets Manjuro, but as he passes him, Ken kicks him in the guts and tells him to bow more to Manjuro. Manjuro approaches Takemichi and asks for his name, but repeats it as Takemichi and wonders if he is really in middle school. Manjuro then informs Takemichi that starting today, he is his friend, which surprises Takemichi. Manjuro approaches Masataka and asks him if he is running the fights. As he confirms, Manjuro kicks him in the face and then proceeds to beat him up. Manjuro then decides to leave as he finds the Fight Club lame, and Ken tells Masataka to not bring Tokyo Manji Gang's reputation down. Later, Kazushi and Makoto are excited that Takemichi manages to make friends with Manjuro. However, Takemichi panics as he went from being slave to Masataka to being slave to a monster. While Kazushi and Makoto keep repeating what Ken and Manjuro said, Atsushi tells Takemichi that he planned on stabbing Masataka, otherwise they would have stayed slaves forever. But thanks to Takemichi, they are no longer slaves. The next morning, Takemichi heads towards school and meets Hinata, who asked him to go on a date before her cram school later today. During class, Takemichi wonders what to do next. He managed to meet Manjuro, but wonders on how to prevent Manjuro and Teda meeting. He hears some noise from the corridors and then sees Manjuro open his classroom, who asks him to come out and play, which shocks Takemichi how crazy Manjuro is. Takemichi comes out of the classroom and sees a bunch of third years beaten. Ken informs him that they pissed him off and he beat them. Ken then orders them to line up on the stomachs and then walks over them with Manjuro. Manjuro wants Takemichi to hang out with them, but Takemichi states he is busy. As they try to convince him, Hinata misunderstands that they are bullying Takemichi and goes and slaps Manjuro. She takes Takemichi's hand and tries to leave, but Ken stops them. Hinata tells them that if they were his friends, they wouldn't have taken him by force, and that if they are the reason he is beaten up lately, she will put a stop to this. Takemichi then places his hand on Ken and tells him to release Hinata as there are things he won't give up ever again. Manjuro tells Takemichi they could have been friends and asks him how he wants to die. Takemichi asks them to promise they won't lay a hand on Hinata. Manjuro states he doesn't care and reaches to punch Takemichi, but stops his hand and states he is joking and he would never hit a girl. Ken comments that Takemichi threatened him, but it's fine as protecting the girl is old school. After learning from Takemichi they are friends, Hinata goes and apologizes to Manjuro, who tells her it's fine, but to not push herself too much. She tells Takemichi he can go with his friends as they could go on a date a different time. While riding bikes, Takemichi recalls that Naoto had told him all the bad things the Tokyo Manji Gang does in the future, and he wonders if Manjuro is really the head of such an evil gang. Takemichi asks Manjuro why he liked him, and Manjuro explains that he had a 10 years older brother who was reckless and picked fights with much stronger people, and Takemichi reminded him of him. Manjuro shares that nowadays, people think of delinquents as lame, but during the time his brother was alive, there were so many biker gangs who acted tough and fought all the time, but always cleaned their own messes, which Manjuro doesn't find lame. Manjuro intends to make a new era for delinquents and wants Takemichi to come with him. Ken states there are plenty of good fighters, but there aren't many people who'd stand up for something they won't give up. While walking home, Takemichi thinks that Manjiro isn't the guy that would kill someone like Hinata and wonders what could have happened to change the Tokyo Manji gang. As he walks, he passes a group of guys and feels he had seen one of them before. In the train, Hinata sees some students making noise and scolds them to not spread that much and take less seats, so that an older lady can sit. Hinata invites Takemichi to her place, so that she helps him study. Takemichi is excited to be in Hinata's room, as it's the first girl's room he is in. Hinata thanks Takemichi for helping Naoto the other day, and that their dad is often missing, and Naoto didn't like him, but suddenly he started saying he wants to be like him, a police officer. Takemichi then realizes why Naoto became a police officer and comments he will become a good police officer. Hinata states that Takemichi feels more mature, or it's simply a side she didn't know and wishes to know more about him. Suddenly fireworks start and Hinata takes Takemichi to the roof to enjoy the view. Takemichi enjoys the moment and doesn't want to return to the future as Hinata isn't there. He reaches to hold her hand, but then realizes he is holding Naoto's hand and returns to the present. In the present, Takemichi wakes up and starts crying. Naoto realizes his theory about handshaking is correct and guesses something must have changed since Takemichi returned. However, learning that Takemichi shaked his hand by mistake, he gets angry. Naoto reveals they learned something new about his time travel. Takemichi returns exactly 12 years in the past, and if he spends a week there, when he returns to the present, a week had passed as well, and during that time his body is in suspended animation. Takemichi reveals he met Manjiro Sano, making Naoto wonder why he didn't kill him, and that if he could have killed him himself. Takemichi suggests they go and see Manjiro as he wants to learn from him why Toman changed. Naoto agrees, stating that Takemichi's weak side seems gone. While they go over documents to look for a way to find Manjiro, Naoto sees someone he doesn't recognize. Atsushi Sendo had become a member of Toman's upper echelon. Naoto finds it strange as in his timeline, Atsushi got arrested for stabbing Masataka Kiyomizu, and after his release, he was just a no-name punk. They realize Takemichi must have changed the past after he met Manjiro and decide to call Atsushi as he may arrange a meeting with Manjiro. Takemichi finds Atsushi's old phone number and hopes he haven't changed it. He recalls how Atsushi said they will all be friends forever. Atsushi ends up answering and Takemichi arranges a meeting with him at the hostess bar Atsushi is running. Naoto wonders if Takemichi should have been that frank and told Atsushi he is looking to meet Manjiro, since even the police can't find him and it may look suspicious, but Takemichi assures him that friendship doesn't change that easily. As they meet Atsushi, Takemichi can't recognize him at first as he is missing his pompadour, who tells Takemichi he has been waiting all this time for Takemichi to show up. Atsushi wishes to speak with Takemichi in private and they head to the rooftop. There, they talk about the fun times they had in the past. Takemichi comments Atsushi must have a good life with all the money, but Atsushi comments there are things you can't buy. He knows that Naoto is a cop and that he is Hinata's little brother. Atsushi then reveals he was the one that pushed him into the train tracks, but Naoto saved him like he knew Takemichi would fall into the tracks. Atsushi wonders if Takemichi can go back in the past and ask Naoto for help. Atsushi believes that's insane, but there is no other explanation. Takemichi refuses to believe that Atsushi would try to kill him as he is his friend. Atsushi reveals that he is Tadakasaki's soldier and everyone in Toman obeys him, as they haven't seen Manjiro in years. Atsushi reveals that Manjiro changed after Ken Ryaguchi died and asks Takemichi to go back in the past and save him, save everyone. After that, Atsushi jumps from the rooftop and dies, causing Takemichi to start crying. On the other end of the rooftop, Tadakasaki is seen listening to their conversation. Takemichi tells Naoto to look into the day Ken Ryaguchi died, as it was Tadakasaki who turned Toman evil. Takemichi then decides to save everyone.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell so as not to miss new videos. Bye everyone.